Okay, Scott Stisser here again. We're going to do a Callibaetis wiggle nymph. Get yourself a cheap ring eye hook. I'm using the Eagle Claw Aberdeen. Anything they make extended body hook things you can use too now, but cheap hook's probably the cheapest way to go. Using Danville Brown 6/0 pre-wax thread. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this back, wrap to wrap, put a base on, and I'm putting in my rib wire, which is a gold wire. And I'm going to wrap to the middle of the hook. On a size 6 Aberdeen hook, that ends up to be right in the middle of the hook. So if you use something else, just counts the thread, wraps the thread back to back. About 35 wraps will give you the proper length. Okay, we'll grab some soft hen hackle fibers. We'll tie them in as tails, nice mottled hen feathers, brown, tannish. Get those attached. Okay, now we're going to do some dubbing. I like to use hare's mask, natural hare's mask, and give me a kind of a creamy tan colored fly. So I'm going to dub that on. And the reason I say a cheap hook, the cheapest hook you can get, is because you're going to be cutting the hook off on the wiggle part. So you're just using it for the stem or the shank of the hook. So we'll wrap our tapered body up here, and then we'll tie, get to the front, and then we'll put on our ribbing. Okay. And after we get a good secure tie down on that ribbing, I'll wiggle it till it breaks. And I'm going to perform a whip finish. This is the abdomen of the fly. Okay. And when we come back from the next section, I'm not going to show you cutting the hook, but I'll show you I'm going to cut the hook right at leaving just a little tag beyond the tail, right there with a pair of dikes. I'm going to cut that wire, and that hook is now going to be gone, and all we'll have is the abdomen without the hook. Okay, now we're going to put a 2487 size 12 hook in the vise. This is going to be the thorax of our fly. And I flattened out some 1X tippet. I'm going to tie it in so just the flat part and the round part starts right about the bend of the hook. This is so it goes so that the abdomen will be a little bit below the thorax, and then when it wants to wiggle, nothing from the thorax is going to hang up and keep that abdomen from freely moving around. Okay. Now I'm going to leave a little round area so it'll wiggle real good, but so you see I leave a space, but I'm going to flatten behind it. This is so I can tie this part of the tippet loop directly on top of the other one, and so the loop will be in line with the shank of the hook, and therefore the wiggle will be side to side. This also makes it easy for me. You notice my thread's in the front. This makes it easy for me to measure out my loop there. Okay, before I tie it in, so I have a small loop, not too big, but big enough to let it freely move, but not so big that it's hanging way back behind the fly. Okay, and we'll just get some good secure wraps on that. Want that tied in pretty good. Trout's not going to hang on to it, but if you know, there may be some pressure on it, we don't want to pull out. Okay, this is prepared with Davy's Flex Mint. I'm doing the wing case. I've taken a soft mottled hackle feather, and you notice I kind of pull it into place as I go back, keeping all those fibers nice and straight. And I'm going to pull that wing case over after we finish the work on the thorax. Okay, some more hare's mask dubbing. Make ourselves the thorax of the fly out of dubbing, same as we used in the back. Okay. And build yourself a nice looking thorax and kind of crowd the eye on this fly. I like to use the eye of the hook to help me make my heads nice and small and so I crowd the eye a little bit. Now let's see, I cut a V out of some soft hen neck hackle fibers, and I'm tying those in on each side all at once. And that V and pulling them into place, so they're just about to the back of the, just a little short of the bend of the back of the hook. And so these will be the legs of my Callibaetis. I'll pull the wing case up over the top and catch it like so. Try not to put a crimp in it so it'll come down nice. Okay, get it captured real good. Tighten that down so it's not going to escape when I cut it. I'm going to cut it real short. Okay, and now I'm going to do a whip finish. Well, build my head a little. Make a nice looking head. Do my whip finish. There we go. Alright. And now we'll put a little of UV clear goo on the wing case, protect it, and make it a little shiny. For many years, I didn't believe in the Wiggle Nymph. I learned to tie these 25 years ago, but recently I've given them another shot and found that they're really quite effective. So, and they're not that hard to tie, so a little time consuming. We'll set our UV goo, and we're almost done here. Okay, that does it. That's the Callibaetis Wiggle Nymph.